What's up, guys? Today I'm talking all about job descriptions and actually how to hire somebody using the right job description. So I'm going to lay out exactly how yours needs to be and some of the things that you definitely need to add and a few things that you could probably leave off. So stick with it and I'll walk you through everything so you have a killer job description next time you go to hire. Hey guys, this is Logan Shinholster with Contractor Growth Network, and today I'm talking all about hiring. How do you hire using the right job description? And here's why I'm talking about this. This is not something that's ever taught to anybody. And even if you've been running a really smooth operation, hiring is the most important aspect of continuing to grow the business, but it's also one of the most overlooked aspects of business. So one of the things that is really important is actually having a job description. So I'm going to walk you through today, how do you come up with a job description and how do you actually lay one out so it gets exactly the right candidate in to go through the application process. So with your job description, what I have here is I have it up on Indeed.com. Now I used to actually work at Indeed.com, so I dealt with this all day long, seeing job descriptions that were great, seeing some that were terrible, anywhere from the corporate side where they make it super long, all the way to the really short entrepreneur that just wants to make their first hire and it's 2 lines and that's it. So this is kind of the formula that I come up with that actually works the best, and I learned a lot of this back at Indeed. So first off, identifying what you need to have in your job description is going to be super important because you need to know what role you're actually hiring for. If you just make it very vague, like I need a laborer, or hey, I need a painter, nobody knows exactly what the job is going to entail. And then a couple weeks down the road, when you say, hey, I'm going to fire you because you're not doing the right job, well, the job description is not laid out to let them know exactly here's what I need. So you want to be, if anything, too specific versus being too vague. So let me walk you through this actual job description because this is a live ad that I have up on Indeed.com hiring somebody. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a customer success manager. In essence, I'm looking for somebody because we have this new marketing program for contractors, and I help run the Contractor Sales Academy. Somebody to help onboard customers and clients. So this person needs to step in, help onboard them to make sure they have a good experience through these courses, but then also check in with them periodically to make sure all is well in their world. The first thing that I always lead off with is going to be an overall summary. If you look right here, you're going to see just a basic outline, which is the customer success manager position will focus on helping onboard new clients into 2 different online marketing/sales programs. They will also be the main point of contact for these clients for any customer experience issues. They're responsible for documenting and archiving ongoing webinars into Kajabi. So in about 30 seconds, somebody should be able to read this, a candidate, and determine, do I want to keep going, yes or no? So that's the point of the summary up front, and you need to have one just to kind of give them a basic overview. This could be your part to talk a little bit about the company if you want. I've seen some companies do 10 lines of just how great they are. Don't do that. Talk more about the job and what role this person is going to be fitting. And if it makes sense to add in a line or 2 about the company, because that's super important, go ahead and do that as well. But your summary is where you start off with. The next thing is going to be your daily responsibilities. Make it abundantly clear in bullet point fashion what they're going to be doing every single day. If you make it super vague, then they don't know. But you'd rather lay out, just imagine, okay, here's what a normal day is going to look like for this person. They're going to show up, then we're going to drive to the job site. Then the next thing they're going to do is dig. So you need to be able to use a shovel. Then the next thing you're going to do is collect gravel or whatever it is, but literally lay out what their daily responsibilities are. Because when you do that, you're saying this is exactly what I need. So it's actually setting up a process for you of saying, this is what a laborer is going to do. They're going to do these exact things. Plus, on the flip side, somebody who's applying to it, it's going to be very abundantly clear on what their job is going to be every single day. So they can't come away in a month and go, oh, this is different than I thought it was, because you literally laid out exactly what they're going to be doing every single day. Next thing down is going to be the required skills. What skills does this person need to have? Now, for me, what you're going to see here is these are more soft skills: team player, self-motivated, meticulous attention to detail. In your world, what prior experience or knowledge do they need to have coming in? First off, just like you, do they need to hit the like button? Which you probably should. Helps out the YouTube algorithm. Like I slid that one in there. Do they need to come in with years of experience? Or let's say you're doing, it's a laborer position and they need to be able to lift a lot of weight. So put in there, must be able to lift X amount of pounds. So that way somebody who's weak isn't going to apply because they know that they need to be able to lift 100 pounds for an extended period of time potentially, or all day long. Lay that out there so you don't get some feeble guy, who doesn't eat the protein you should be eating, and then you're SOL after day one. So lay out any required skills, whether it's a past experience. For me, this is also mainly soft skills. So if you want somebody who's gonna step in and work really hard in the field, but also be able to interact with clients, again, add that in there, okay? The next thing that I put in there is always gonna be core competencies and team values. This is where I try to sell my company more and say, look, if you're gonna be a part of this team, here are the team requirements. And the reason that I put that in is because I actually use these 5 different values when I interview somebody, which will be in a different video, but I will actually use these. So I say, you must have these 5 traits. If you are not action-oriented, meaning you just sit back and wait for somebody to tell you what to do, don't apply here. And I'm gonna learn if you are or not in the interview process. But I wanna set the upfront expectation and say, hey, look, you need to be these 5 traits, and if you're not, don't bother. Now, I'm gonna be completely candid. Most people are gonna say, oh yeah, that's totally me. So it's more of a factor that I just use to go through the interview process to weed people out, but I still need to put it up there because it's part of my team values. The next part's gonna be, I just wanna lay out a little bit more. These are a little bit different. If I just were to put, we're a marketing agency, people generally get that, but these jobs, or this job is for 2 very specific companies, the Contractor Sales Academy and this Contractor Growth Network Blueprint course that we're launching. So they need to know a bit more about the actual jobs themselves or the actual companies themselves. So I just put in a link to both of the YouTube channels to get a feel for what's going on with the companies. So I just kind of added that in there as a last little thing, just to give them a bit more information about who they're gonna be working for and who they're gonna be working with. So then down here, keep going. Indeed makes you put in what salary. Now here is what you need to really think about in your company. If you're looking for a rock star A player, can you pay them $11 an hour? Probably not. Because if you're looking for a millennial, like that's what I am, that's what Alex behind the camera is, we're millennials, there's ways to incentivize us. And sometimes money's not always the way to do it, but the idea of you gotta come in here and make very little money, like minimum wage, and work your way up, that just doesn't really fly as much anymore. So for salaries, be realistic about this, and then also salary ranges. If you wanna put a range in there, you can't put too wide of a range. So if you're gonna put between $15 and $35 an hour, it's too wide because one is 30 grand a year and one's 70 grand a year. Completely different ends of the spectrum of it. So be smart with putting a range in there. I would say if you're doing hourly, don't do more than maybe $5, $7 an hour difference. I just did 2 in this one. All right, a couple other requirements for me. You gotta be in Charlotte, you gotta speak English. You're gonna work here in the location. Are there any benefits? We have a retirement plan here. And then, you can throw in your company page for your Facebook page. So that's how to lay out a job description. So let's go back through it one more time. First, have a straightforward job title. So if you're gonna make something that's very specific, let's say, for example, you wanna say field technician, great. But if people don't really know what that is, then you're gonna have a very small amount of people actually applying for this because Indeed is a search engine as well. So just like Google, you can't make something like, we're seeking for rockstar A player to join our team. That's not a job description that people are searching for. So make sure you lay out there literally what you're searching for. Then you have the overview, which is gonna be 2 to 3, maybe up to 4 or 5 sentences, just giving an overall summary of the job and the company. Then the daily responsibilities, make sure you make it abundantly clear in bullet point fashion what they're gonna be doing every single day. Then required skills, again, bullet point fashion, what do they need to come in with? Core competencies and team values, if you've got them, put them in there. Sell your company, but also make it a little bit harder for B and C players to want to join your team. And last but not least, if you want to add anything extra, you can. Make sure your salaries make sense and they're not too all over the map. So that's how you do a job description as a whole. You can take this and apply it literally the exact same format to your company because this is the stuff that works. This is what works for Indeed, and it's not too corporate-y where it's super, super, super long and you're like, man, that's a very sophisticated job, and in reality, they're looking for a cashier, right? But on the flip side, it's not super small where it's like 3 sentences and doesn't give anything up. All right, last couple tidbits. Don't overdo it on the on bolding. Some people like to bold all their text. It makes no sense. And then some people like to type in all capitals. If it doesn't look professional, you're not going to get professional people to apply. And I'm not saying professional being white collar stuck up. I'm just saying people who actually have their together. So I hope that helps. Do me a favor, if you found anything useful out of this, hit the like button. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. And then on the flip side, we're going to throw in another video that's all about, coming up next, how to interview properly, what questions to ask, how you should do it to save your time. And the best part of that one is going to be, how do you actually interview and learn what red flags to look out for so you don't get screwed in the back end. So I hope this helps. And if you ever need any help with this kind of stuff, Indeed.com has a lot of job descriptions that you can almost just copy and paste and tweak to your own. So they do a good job with it. All right, that's why I like using them. Straightforward, easy stuff. Thanks.